So how do you become an unbusy person? And if you know the answer to that question, let me know because I want to become an unbusy person myself. And it seems like that the older that you get, the busier you become. You have a lot more responsibilities, you have a family to take care of, and maybe your work is giving you a lot more tasks that you need to complete. And by the end of the day, you have no time for yourself. And so you're wondering where all that time has went. Have you ever felt that way before? Because I definitely have. And some of us, we love to be busy because we want to appear significant and successful. We live in a society in which busy schedules are evidence of how successful and how hardworking we can be. And so when other people notice our busyness, what that does is that it feeds our vanity and our desire to look significant. And I'm reading this book by Eugene Peterson that completely changed my perspective on busyness. Now, this is a book that's primarily written to pastors, but there are nuggets of wisdom that are universal and applicable to everyone. And he says that we are busy because we are lazy. His argument is that lazy people let others dictate the schedule. I mean, he writes it better, and this is what he writes. By lazily abdicating the essential work of deciding and directing, establishing values and setting goals, other people do it for us. Then we find ourselves frantically at the last minute trying to satisfy a half dozen different demands on our time, none of which is essential to our vocation. That quote? Pretty good. If we're not intentional in living out God's purpose for our lives, then we're gonna be at the hands of other people's agenda. And that's not God honoring at all. And so the question is, how do we become unbusy and more intentional in living out our purpose? And I think a good question to ask ourselves is this: if no one asked me to do anything, what would I do? And Eugene Peterson says that there are three things that every pastor should do, and those are praying, preaching, and listening. Those are the top three essentials that all pastors need to do. And so I need to carve out time and be intentional about those three things. Anything that I do outside those three would be considered secondary and would be considered busy work. And once those essential needs are met, then there will be time for everything else. So becoming an unbusy person starts with intentionality and undoing that laziness. If you don't plan out your schedule, then others will do it for you. And to be honest, who wants to live that kind of life? Because I definitely don't. God has called me to be a pastor, and I want to do that well, and I want to do that faithfully. And so whatever God has called you to do, whatever your purpose, whatever your mission is, figure out what those top three essentials are and be aggressive about it and scheduling it in your life. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot and hope you were blessed. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.